So, Vicky, there are a lot of different types of minerals that come out of the ground, and they're so important in manufacturing and a whole host of other things that are done around the planet. And in keeping with those different types of minerals, there's different types of mines, right? Can you give our listeners kind of an overview of the industry and what kind of stuff are you pulling out of the ground, and what kind of mine does it have to be?
Yeah, well, so Rio Tinto is a really the second biggest diversified mining company globally. I'll zoom it down into so here in the U.S., in Canada, North America, I guess we're really the second largest producer of final refined metals and critical minerals. Majority is used for the U.S. domestic market. So everything from high purity aluminum, which is manufactured in our Canadian operations and is used in your iPhones, to the body of the Ford F-150, to the Boeing airplanes. Green iron ore, which feeds U.S. steel mills, to borates, which are used in just about everything from detergents to aircraft coatings for entry into back into Earth, so we don't burn them up. We also are a very big copper producer. We've got 100 years of copper operations at our Utah copper mine, and we produce about 15% of the U.S. demand for copper, along with a whole host of other goodies like gold, silver, molybdenum that's used to harden steel, and critical minerals that have interesting names like tellurium, which are used in the coatings of solar panels or to night vision goggles. So lots of different minerals.
Wow.
So you hear a lot about minerals that are not mined in the U.S. that are in other countries, and we're sort of hostage to them. Is that because the production costs are so low in those countries, or is it because the stuff is just not in North America?
There are some minerals that are really not present in large quantities in North America. One would be cobalt. So the Democratic Republic of Congo, really, 70% of cobalt comes out of that one single country. The U.S., though, has very wide array of minerals. I say the amount of copper deposits. There was a time actually when the U.S. was number one global producer of copper. Today, we still have lots of copper mines, dozens across the country. And the unique thing about copper is it tends to have a lot of, we used to call them impurities. Today, we call them critical minerals. So not all copper deposits are created equal, but about half a dozen or a dozen critical minerals can be made from copper as long as you have a smelter and a refinery that you can pull them out of. So many of these minerals aren't actually mined in their own right, like indium or tellurium. You won't have those types of mines, but you make them as a co-product of copper.